373 gears, done. Carpet floor mat, done. Fat mat, done. Plug kit, done. Shifter boot still need, gloves, relay for the AC, done. Inner tie rods, done. To-do shampoo seats, okay. Sound deadening, done. Install shifter, install gears. Say what's up, buddy?
What's up?
Where are we going?
Car show.
Car show.
The new car show we're going to get my weights with, Daddy.
Oh, that's Sunday. We're going to the regular old Albertsons car show thing. Just get some groceries. Take Trino out, stretch his legs. Right, bub? Yeah. Yeah, the Mustang still needs some work. Still not happy with the front brakes. Taking the Trino right now, aren't we, bud?
If somebody wants to get it, you have to do it.
That's right. Whatever that means. That's right. Hey, what's up, everyone? Hey, listen, this is just a quick update on what we're going to be doing today. Unfortunately, I don't have a video. I was going to make a video getting everything done, but I'm still waiting on parts. And let me show you guys what we are going to try to do today. I'm going to try to get some of the work done on the rear axle, try to finish up the brakes. We're going to get the rotors turned, try to find some pads for it, clean it up, and maybe get the axle in. So I do have the rear control arms, upper and lower, tubular ones that came in. So we have those. But I don't have anything to do. I haven't pulled the front off yet because I decided I'm going to get the Cobra kit for it. So we're going to be using a 13-inch rotor on the front instead of the 12 that came with the car, 10, 11 inch that came with the 87. So I decided it's not good enough and I want to get a bigger brake for it. I'm looking for a Cobra kit of some sort. So for that I need SN95 spindles for it. And I found some. In fact, I found both. I'm just waiting on some return calls here from some guys that might have it. I can pick it up, and I might even go with some new parts. So let me show you guys everything that I've done so far, though. Okay, so to the list here, we still have the axle to install, the control arms. I need new springs for it. That's another reason why I hadn't put anything in yet. I decided not to use the used springs. I want to go ahead and get some new ones. That way I got a better idea of what's going on in the car. We got to get the rear pads, the rotors turned and cleaned up so we can install the rear brakes. And I got to get the SN95 front spindles and front brakes for this car. The SN95 spindles are going to allow me to put a much bigger brake on it. So as you guys most know, since these are off an 87, you have this this flange or that lip there that's where you bolt the caliper onto. That limits the size of the rotor, obviously. So the SN95s has the mounting point behind it and allows you to get much bigger rotors. So this limits me big time to just this size rotor and nothing else. Even though it would work, I decided to ditch both of these and start looking for an SN95 setup. I really want a Cobra setup in the 13-inch rotor, and it's a pretty large caliper. Not too large. I'm not going to be road racing this thing, but it's gonna stop pretty good, hopefully. I don't want to go too overbore or overkill on the calipers I want to be getting for the 13-inch rotors, because I did go ahead and order a 1-inch bore master cylinder. So I decided not to use this one, even though I've got it gutted and I've got everything I could use for this, because it is a 1 1/16 bore. It's pretty large. It's going to make for maybe too firm of a pedal, but I've got this in case I want to use it later if the pedal's too soft. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 1-inch bore on it. So I've got a brand new 1-inch bore on its way. It'll be here tomorrow, so I can get that bench bled and installed, and then installed into the block. So the block, I did go ahead and order a the cap for it. So the cap's on, it's been gutted, the block's ready, and the manual control valve is also installed. So we're getting there, but there's still a lot to do. I'm kind of gathering parts of brakes stuff here that I'm not going to be needing, I don't think. Probably end up selling these 87 calipers, and that's the stock master cylinder. This is off the four lug. So the springs are holding me up, and what I'm going to do with the front brakes is holding me up. Doesn't mean there's no work to be done though. I got to figure out these back brakes and move these over so they're in shape. I'm going to try to clean them up. I may not even try to paint them right now. I might. I don't know. They don't look terrible. They've got a little bit of rust here. We'll try to scrape off. And I do want to try to find some pads off these GM metric calipers. And I think I'm going to take these up to the auto parts store and see if I can't get them turned and cleaned up. So that will allow us to get it installed. Another thing I want to do is for the rear brake T connector here that goes up to the chassis for the rear brakes. It's supposed to have a bracket on it. And that's still on my 7.5 right here. So we're going to try to take this off and swap it over to this axle so we can use it. He didn't have it on before, it was just dangling. I don't like that. So we're going to try to relocate that and give myself a place to mount the stainless line on my 8.8. So, yeah. Oh, control arms. Let's show you that. So control arms are here. And guys, these are identical, pretty much copies of the SVE tubular. They're cheapos, but they're not. I mean, they're nice. They're well made. They'll definitely serve the purpose. Pretty heavy steel. These have the bushings installed, and they also have greasable insert fittings here, so we can actually service these bushings, fill them up with grease. So I like the idea that these had these, and the SVs did not. And I got these on Amazon, I believe, for like $116. I can't remember, but they were quite a bit cheaper, or a few dollars cheaper, I guess, than the SVE ones from LMR. So I did pick these up, and they're nice. So hopefully today, if we get the rear brake set up and installed, I can get these rear control arms in the car, and we can maybe set the axle up in the car with no springs until I get some correct springs for it, because I'm not going to use the springs that I got. It's set too high on the back and I wasn't happy with it. But this comes with all the hardware. Pretty big bag of different size bolts and sleeves. So yeah, we'll see how well this goes on, how well it fits. And yeah, so this are the let's see here, black control arms, the most generic box ever. Let's see here. I don't know if y'all can read that or not. That's shipping from Wholesale Deals, Audio Max, Temple City Boulevard, blah, 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 blah. Coming from California. So, I can send a link on these on Amazon. If anyone's, the Amazon link, I could post down below if anyone's really interested. So, alright. So, let's try to take that, see if we can get that bracket off. Switch it over to the new axle. By the way, I'm sorry I haven't had a video posted in quite a long time. It's absolutely gorgeous outside. The weather's been on and off here. Today is just perfect. Saturday morning. I've had a lot of different things with the family I've had to attend to, and it's just been busy. And of course, I don't really want to post any more videos with absolutely no content, and I don't have content until I have parts. That requires money. So, yeah.
Caution, so greed and filth can thrive. Your neighbors are no strangers in a place ridden with greed. Cause all this world wants from you is to watch you fucking bleed.
So this piece is integrated. and the piece I've got, you can see this here, it's integrated within this bracket. So this bracket is the T. It all comes as one piece, but we'll fix that. Let's see if we can cut this out. We'll drill a hole for it, and then hopefully have a spot to mount the stainless line here on the 8/8. Okay, so this is just, I mean, you can feel it, it's a little bit loose here. Looks like these tabs are crimped down. So if I cut these off, maybe with my dremel tool, we can pull this thing out. Yeah.
Chaos raise the waters, but we all know the borders just exist to drink the fall. Race space scouts and hatred without borders. Race is wasted, only with race and race can.
So again, the idea here is to make sure we got enough room to sink a bolt down there, and we can use this bracket as it should be. So see if I can't find a bolt for it, and we'll see if we can put this bracket onto the 8/8. Okay, so looking at a bolt, looks like it's going to fit this just perfect. I lost it. Where'd it go? Where'd my bolt go? Yeah.
What?
Nothing. I lost my bolt. Son of a cracker. How does that happen? Ah, here it is. I got too much crap in the garage. Okay. So yeah, I got me a nice, probably a perfect bolt here. It's got a nylon lock on it, so it won't get loose. And I think this is gonna fit just right here. Yeah, this is perfect. So this is. We'll tighten that down. That'll give me the correct riser to bolt on the stainless line. So let's go see if we can put this line on the axle housing now. Okay, we'll see if this is going to work. It's going to be really tight. In fact, I don't want it to. I think that may actually work, but I should be able to get a bolt in there. I just hope it's not in the way of the bolt for the upper control arm. But we'll have to see. If not, we could bend it. But I mean, otherwise, it fits really decent now. So yeah, we'll have to see how that works once we get the brakes on and tied up. So let's bolt it on. Well, I just got back here from Napa, and I was able to get some gloves, and I did find pads. The rotors are too small to turn though, so I either need to get new rotors or just use these because they're actually in decent shape. So I think I might just use them. Anyways, let's bring it all in. Okay, for the brake pads, I did go to Napa because Napa rocks, and I was able to give them the old pads. Told them it came off a GM metric, and the guy on first try found the right pad. So we got pads here. Okay, so we have a new set of pads, and the rotor's now contemplating on what to do. I'll probably replace them. I don't know. These are actually usable. They're in decent shape. They're not grooved, but they were a little bit under spec. They've been turned once before, and we probably can't turn them again without them getting too thin. So I can go ahead and buy new rotors for it, or I can use these. But we still have a lot of work to do. I still have to clean up the brakes and try to get those bolted on the axle so we can slide it under here and then start taking off the rear control arms. shelf. I got a lot of stuff on the shelf here. I figure I'd take a look and see what I've got. I do have some engine enamel that's good up to 500 degrees. And it's silver, so this will probably work just fine. And what we got back here? Oh, here we go. This is good up to 650. Nice dark metallic silver. So, anyways, this will work. We'll use this on it. I'll clean it up with some acetone, dry it out a little bit, and anyways, this will help protect it a little bit more than it already was, hopefully. So let's spray this on. Sorry, I know everybody wanted to take a ride in the Torino. Maybe next time. Had to make dinner for the family and whatnot, but I got the rear brakes on. They were really tight, and I had to sand down the pads just a little bit because new pads are pretty thick, and it just seemed like it was too much play on the rotors. Even though I compressed calipers as much as I could, the rotors just didn't spin as freely as I wanted to. So there's drag on them now, but earlier I could barely spin it at all. I could not even spin the rotors without a lot of torque on it. So I ended up taking the pads off, putting some flat 60 grit down here on the bench, and just kind of rub the pad against the grit. So it should be fine. We'll keep an eye on it. But I'm trying to go ahead and get the brake lines put on it, get those tattooed on, and yeah, we'll see what happens. I might be able to get the axle lifted up in tonight. I don't know. It's getting dark, so I got light on it. See, hopefully you can see it here. But the color looks okay. It's not red anymore. But the paint seems to held up well, at least with me banging on them and everything. So anyways, so you can see here. It'll turn. It will, I promise. There you go. See. take it inside, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the control arms in tomorrow because it's getting late. Okay, happy Sunday, everyone. So I got the control arms off last night, about 4 o'clock, and we're going to try to get the new control arms on. So I got to grease them up, slide them in place, and bolt them in. Then hopefully we can get the axle kind of up in place, and maybe get the brake lines connected. Everything with the springs, so I don't have springs yet, so we'll have to wait on that. Kind of brushing over the instructions here. There's not much to it. Pretty much unbolt, lubricate, and bolt back on. So we're just gonna make it work here and use the bolts that is supplied with it. But we'll start getting the upper ones on first. So I'm going to take these guys out here, and we'll get them nice and lubricated on the outside, and put the grease fitting on. We'll put one in, see what happens. Just gonna start throwing some grease in these till we start seeing it come out. Should start seeing it squeeze out here. There we go. Alright. So that's how you know these are greased, and they start squirting out the sides here. So we're going to go ahead and take this excess and wipe it off. The nipple, the fitting, and we're going to take this grease. Probably get some more on here. Put some inside as well. These are nice and greased up. Alright, we'll get the other side, and we'll get ready to get the axle in. Yeah. Looking good. Okay, so lower control arms are in. I got that one way down. So they're all kind of just, I don't know, in position where I can get the axle hopefully slid in. And this is going to be a chore because now we got to get the 7.5 off of that axle. Off of that jack. And get the jack underneath this and lift it up high enough to get it underneath the car and hopefully slide it in. Okay, so lower control arms are in. I got that one way down. So they're all kind of just, I don't know, in position where I can get the axle hopefully slid in. And this is going to be a chore because now we got to get the 7.5 off of that axle. Off of that jack. And get the jack underneath this and lift it up high enough to get it underneath the car and hopefully slide it in. Okay, the car's going to have to get higher. This 8.8 is taller and it's not going to clear the gas tank. I'm going to have to get it down all the way onto the ground, slide it, and then try to prop it back up on the jack. So let's not hurt ourselves, right? This is a lot easier with two people. That thing's heavy. Go ahead and gear up the, or lube up the upper control arm mounts on the 8.8. So, So, looks like I'm awfully close position-wise. So, I should be able to raise it up and hopefully goes, we're really in position. So once we get the upper control arm bolts in, we'll know it'll be secured left and right to the vehicle, and then we can start bolting on the bottom ones. So, okay, it is way off, man. Close but no cigar here on this side of the lower control arm right here. Okay, again, sorry it's dark out here. This is what you get when you don't have enough light, but I want to show you I've got this lower control arm, upper control arm already attached, the driver's side, and that's the only thing attached right now. Let me show you how far off the passenger side is here. So, obviously the whole axle needs to come, this way. I'm gonna be honest, I had to stop recording. Move the camera in and out of the way. It's dark anyways. I need to just try to put some muscle to it. Put the camera down, and I'll return to you guys in a second. A little difficult to record when you're trying to do something like this alone, so hang loose. Alright guys, she is finally installed. The axle is in. All the bolts are tightened on the upper and lower control arms. And next video I'll make will be hopefully brighter outside so you guys can see it just a little bit better. There it is. So, hey, that's a big milestone, man. I'm stoked about that because the axle's in. And I was having a lot of trouble with it for a couple reasons. The drive shaft was hung up on it and I was keeping it from moving over. You just have to wrestle them in, man. I think probably the best advice I can give you when you put an axle in with these stiff upper and lower control arms is to do the bottoms first, and then you know, jack it up until you get one side of the upper control arm in, and you may have to move the jack at that point. I ended up having to put a jack here on this side, lift it all the way up as high as I could, and then let the other side drop so the axle was, you know, like this a little bit, and that allowed me to get the upper control arm over it. Also, a little tidbit: I tightened down the upper control arms and lower control arms on the body side connecting points prior to installing. The axle, don't do that. Leave them loose. Leave it all loose. The instructions say to leave it loose. Yeah, I should know better than that. So leave the upper and lower control arms loose. It gives me a little bit of a side play. That'll save your life whenever you're trying to connect up the control arms to the axle. Once they're connected and all your bolts are connected to it, then you can start snugging it down. Everything's nice and tight. So this is a long video. We've done a lot. We fixed the rear brakes. We got them bolted on, and we cleaned them up, cleaned the calipers up, got them painted, installed the lower control arms, and got the axle installed.